Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, name is Rob. Let's get to it and break this down and put it into perspective. You're 63 years old, $250,000 saved in a 401k, and you do not want to touch Social Security until 67. Monthly expenses are $3,500. As we walk through this, I will put up several slides so you can follow along. Let's explore three options. Option 1. No part-time work, age 63, we will keep it conservative and go with an investment growth of 3%. Option 2, part-time work until 65, age 63, investment growth at 3%. Option 3, part-time work until 67, again, age 63, investment growth 3%. Now please note, I'm not a financial advisor. Everything I'm sharing here is for educational purposes only. Your situation may be different, so always consider talking with a licensed professional before making any financial decisions. All right, let me walk you through option 1. What this looks like if you don't work part-time at all. You're just relying on savings until Social Security kicks in at 67. You start at age 63 with $250,000 in a retirement savings. Monthly expenses are $3,500, which means you need to withdraw $42,000 a year. You can adjust the figures based on your monthly expenses. Even with a modest 3% growth rate, those withdrawals add up fast. By age 64, balance drops to $208,000. Then by 65, it's down to $172,240. You keep withdrawing $42,000 a year. So by 66, you're at $135,407. And by 67, down to just $97,469. At that point, you start collecting Social Security, which helps stabilize things, but you're entering retirement with less than $100,000 in savings. That's a steep drawdown. The withdrawal rate at that point is over 6%, which is above the safe zone. So without any part-time income, the early years hit your savings hard. You need to be very cautious about spending and possibly looking for ways to supplement with other income sources. Let's walk through option 2. What happens if you work part-time until age 65 and then stop? You are earning $1,500 a month. That's $18,000 a year. Expenses are $42,000. So while working, you're only withdrawing $24,000 a year from savings. But listen, you're only doing that for 2 years, age 63 to 65. After that, you stop working. So for age 65 to 67, you are withdrawing the full $42,000 a year. Here's how the numbers play out. You start at 63 with $250,000. After 2 years of part-time work and 3% growth, you have $216,505. Then you withdraw $42,000 a year for 2 years. At 67, you end up with $144,000. Now you start Social Security, $3,000 a month, and your expenses are $3,500. So you are withdrawing $6,000 a year. $6,000 out of $144,000 is roughly about 4.1%. That's slightly above the safe zone, but not dangerously above. And with 3% growth, the money still lasts 25 to 35 years. So with option 2, even working part-time for just 2 years makes a big difference. It softens the early withdrawals and gives your savings a longer runway once Social Security kicks in. Now let's take a look at option 3. That surprised me the most. If you work part-time from age 63 to 67, just $1,500 a month, it completely changes the math. Instead of you instead of you draining the savings, you're only withdrawing $24,000 a year. And with a modest 3% return, your $250,000 only drops to about $181,000 by the time you hit 67. That's a huge difference because now, when you stop working and start Social Security, the gap is only $6,000 a year. And $6,000 out of $181,000 is a withdrawal rate of about 3%. Now that's inside the safe zone. And at that level, the money lasts 30 to 40 years. So the takeaway is simple. Part-time income in your early 60s is one of the most powerful levers you can pull. It buys you time, it protects your savings, and it sets you up for a much safer retirement once Social Security kicks in. All right, let's break this down. When you look at all three retirement options, one thing becomes obvious. Working part-time until 65 or even 67 gives you the strongest outcome. If you got around $250,000 in a 401k, invested conservatively at about 3% growth, part-time work buys you something incredibly valuable: time. Time for your investments to grow, time to delay withdrawals, and time to avoid draining your savings too quickly. Always keep in mind, the market ultimately determines what your 401k is worth. Some years it will be up, some years will be rough. Keep in mind of inflation, which usually drives the cost of living adjustments. And remember, every dollar you pull from a traditional 401k is taxable income. So the number you see on paper is not the actual number you get to spend. Your lifestyle plays a massive role too. How you spend, how you budget, how simple or complicated you keep your life. That's what determines whether your money lasts or disappears. For me, I keep life simple. I don't overspend. I don't chase status. And I'm very intentional about where my money goes. And here's another milestone. Medicare kicks in at 65. That can take some weight off your budget. Lower healthcare costs mean your savings stretch much further. So the takeaway is this. If you're sitting on $250,000 and trying to make it last, working part-time isn't just extra income. It's a strategy. It gives your investments time to grow. It reduces withdrawals, and it helps you enter Social Security age with far more stability. It's not about being rich. It's about being smart, steady, and building a lifestyle that supports the long game. So what's your take on these options? Would you feel comfortable retiring with $181,000 and then taking Social Security? Do you think part-time work until 67 is worth it for the extra cushion? Or would you rather stop earlier and adjust your lifestyle? Please drop your thoughts below, whether it's your own numbers, your plan, or just what you're wrestling with. And please subscribe if you have not yet done so. Love to connect and grow my channel. Until next time, be safe, be healthy, be happy. God bless.